Let's go!
Hey, welcome to Ali and Mates. I'm your host, Ali. Thanks for being with us as we learn more about this incredible world. Let's get into it.
Let's go! Fun fact of the week.
When you think about ducks, you probably imagine the sound they make. But here's something my son told me recently. Not all ducks actually quack.
Quack!
The famous quacking sound usually comes from female mallard ducks. They're the ones that make the loud quack we hear in cartoons and at the park. But male ducks, so boy ducks called drakes, they sound completely different. Instead of quacking, many male ducks, they make quiet, raspy sounds like whistles or little grunting noises. Some ducks even chirp.
I wonder if Australian ducks sound different to African ducks.
That's a fun thought. Ducks with accents.
Sayings explained.
Welcome to Sayings Explained, where we take funny-sounding things grown-ups say and figure out what they really mean. Today's saying is,
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
don't put all your eggs in one basket. Imagine you had a basket full of eggs and you were carrying them. What would happen if you tripped and dropped them?
They would fall out of your basket. All the eggs would smash at once.
But if you had put some eggs in different baskets, you might only lose a few and the rest would still be safe. So when someone says don't put all your eggs in one basket, they don't mean actual eggs. They mean it's smarter to not rely on just one plan or one idea or one option. For example, imagine you dream of becoming a famous soccer player one day, and you work really hard and you practice soccer every day. Well, what happens if you did a terrible injury and you couldn't run around anymore? It would have been important that you were going to school and learning other skills as well. That way, if soccer doesn't work out the way you hoped, you still have lots of other great things you can do. It's all about spreading your risk. So if one thing doesn't work out, you have other options.
Another saying explained.
Welcome to This or That, where I ask you 3 rapid-fire questions and you need to answer straight away. There's no time for thinking and there's no right or wrong. You ready? Let's go. Would you prefer to read a book or listen to a podcast? Would you prefer a pet kitten or a pet puppy? And finally, would you prefer to go to the movies or go ice skating? Time's up. Good job.
Stories from the Bible.
Today's story is about a man named Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus worked as a tax collector, which meant he took money from people for the government. The problem was he often took more money than he was supposed to, so lots of people didn't like him. One day, Jesus was coming to town, and a massive crowd gathered to see him. Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus too, but there was a problem. He was very short and he couldn't see over the crowd. So Zacchaeus ran ahead and he climbed up into a sycamore tree to get a better look at what was happening. When Jesus walked by, he stopped and he looked up into the tree and he said, "Zacchaeus, come down. I'm coming to your house today." Wow. Zacchaeus was so happy that Jesus wanted to spend time with him. But everybody else was shocked. They didn't think Jesus should be hanging out with Zacchaeus, the thief. Well, after spending time with Jesus, Zacchaeus was absolutely transformed. He said, "I'm going to give half of what I own to the poor. And if I've taken too much money from anyone, I will pay it back." Even though lots of people didn't like Zacchaeus before, Jesus still cared about him, and he helped him become a better person. Just like Zacchaeus, sometimes we make mistakes or do things we shouldn't, but Jesus will always love you and want to be your friend. Okay, welcome to Kids Corner, where we share jokes from our listeners. And today we have a joke from...
Hi, my name is Millie. I'm 4 years old. This is my joke. Why is a chicken funny?
I don't know. Why is a chicken funny?
Because!
It's so good. Thank you, Millie. If you would like your joke on the show, just ask an adult to read the show notes.
History tidbit.
Let's step back in time to a very strange discovery that started with sick cows on a farm. Back in the 1920s, so over 100 years ago, farmers noticed something really unusual. Cows and sheep that ate moldy hay started bleeding a lot, even when they just had small injuries. A veterinarian, a doctor for animals, named Frank Schofield, figured out that the moldy hay had a chemical in it that stopped blood from clotting.
What's clotting?
Great question. Clotting is when your blood thickens and forms a little plug to stop bleeding. So if, for example, you get a cut, your blood clots and then it forms a scab to help your body heal. Well, scientists studied the chemical and they created a medicine from it. It's called warfarin. And doctors realized that in very small doses, it could help people whose blood clots too easily. And today, warfarin helps prevent heart attacks, strokes, and dangerous blood clots. It's a good reminder to stay curious. Sometimes the biggest discoveries come from simply noticing what's happening in the world around us.
Mystery sound. Can you guess the mystery sound?
Alrighty, time for our mystery sound. Listen closely and see if you can guess what this sound is. Ooh, you might need your mum or dad to help with this one. You used to hear this sound in classrooms every day, but not anymore. If you guessed chalk writing on a chalkboard, well done. Before whiteboards and smartboards, teachers used little sticks of chalk to write on big blackboards at the front of the classroom. And when the lesson was finished, they'd wipe it all off and start again.
Time for some nice news.
Special shout out to Eden for sending in this story about something very special happening in the Australian town of Armidale in a local church hall. Dance classes, they can be really expensive, and with the cost of living going up, many families have had to stop activities like dance lessons. One teenage girl named Beatrix, she loved tap dancing. She'd been dancing since she was 6, but when money got tight, her family couldn't afford the classes anymore, so Beatrix had to stop. Then they heard about something amazing called Revelations Dance, a place where the classes are completely free. The classes were started by a 12-year-old dancer named Annabelle Arcott. Annabelle loves dance, and she's even represented Australia when she was just 10 years old. But she realised lots of kids who love dance never get the chance to learn because their families can't afford lessons. So, with the help of her mum, Annabelle started running free weekly dance classes at her church. What began with just 3 students has now grown to more than 20 dancers. Before each class, they start with a prayer circle where everyone can share what they're thankful for, and then the music starts and the dancing begins. Now the group's preparing for competitions and performances together. It's such a good reminder that you don't have to be an adult to make a difference.
I love nice news.
Before I say goodbye, let's check how well you've been listening. Question number 1. After meeting Jesus, what did Zacchaeus decide to do? Give to the poor and pay back anyone he had taken too much money from. Good job. Question number 2. What does the saying, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket" mean? It means it's smart to have more than one plan or option so you don't lose everything if one plan doesn't work out. All right, final question. What made the cows and sheep start bleeding a lot back in the 1920s. They were eating moldy hay. Good job, everybody. Well, that's a wrap on today's episode of Allie and Mates. Until next time, have fun, stay curious, and always be kind. Bye for now.
See you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hi, Ali. We are probably your biggest fans in England. Boys, what do you love about Ali and Mates? Toby, you go first. Safety Sean. And Max, what do you love?
The jokes.
The jokes. We basically have listened to all of your episodes multiple times. We've recently been on holiday and we just had non-stop Ali and Mates. And we've even told our friends about you, haven't we? So yeah, thank you for everything you do. Keep up the good work. Bye.